In a small quiet village called Tatu, there lived a little girl named Purity. She was only 6 years old, full of smiles and laughter. Her parents were poor farmers, but they loved her more than anything in the world. Her father, Duru, always lifted her up high when he came home from the farm, and her mother, Lovett, would sing soft songs while braiding her hair under the mango tree. Purity didn't have toys or fancy clothes, but she had love, and that love made her world beautiful. But one cold evening, something happened that changed her life forever. A terrible sickness came into Tatu. People whispered that it came with the dust, or maybe with the rain. One by one, people started to cough and fall sick. Some got better, but some never did. Lovell got sick first. She coughed and coughed, her hands shaking as she tried to hold Purity close. Then Duru also began to cough. He stayed strong for as long as he could, smiling weakly at Purity even when his eyes were heavy with pain. But no smile could stop what was coming. One morning, Purity woke up and found her mother cold. So cold, her eyes were closed forever. Her father sat beside her body, tears flowing like the river. The next day, Duru joined her. And just like that, little Purity became an orphan. The villagers pitied her, but they were poor too. They gave her food sometimes, let her sleep in corners of their houses, and help her as they could. But everyone was struggling and no one could care for her forever. One day, a woman came from the city of Jekema. Her name was Miracle, and she was Purity's only auntie. Lovett's younger sister. She wore shiny shoes and had a big bag with wheels. People gathered around as she stepped into the village square. Her face hard like stone. I have come for Purity, she said. The villagers were happy. They believed Purity would now live a good life in the city. They packed her small things in a black nylon bag, hugged her tight, and waved her as Miracle took her away. Purity looked back at the graves of her parents as they left. Her small heart was heavy, but she hoped Jekama would bring peace. She was wrong. When Purity arrived in Jekama, the noise confused her. Cars honked, people shouted, tall buildings stood like giants. She had never seen so many lights before. Auntie Miracle lived in a small crowded house at the edge of the city. It smelled of pepper and sweat. Miracle had 3 children, all bigger than Purity. Their names were Fifi, Tommy, and Blessing. From the first day, Purity knew she was not welcome. You will sweep the compound every morning, Miracle said sharply. You will wash clothes, cook, and clean. You are not here to play. But Auntie, I want to go to school too, Purity whispered. Miracle laughed. School? Who will pay for your school? You think this is tattoo? Wake up, girl. The next day and every day after that, Purity woke up before the sun. She fetched water, swept the compound, boiled hot water for Miracle's children, and ironed their uniform. While they went to school, she stayed home to clean and cook. If she made a mistake, Miracle beat her with a broomstick or slapped her until her lips bled. No one cared. They cried no one heard. At night, Purity would lie on the cold floor in the kitchen, staring at the dark ceiling. Her tiny body ached, and her hands were full of wounds. Sometimes she cried, but quietly so that no one would hear. She missed her parents. She missed lovers singing. She missed Duru's warm arms. She wanted someone, anyone, to hug her and say, it's going to be okay. But no one came. Even Miracle's children mocked her. Fifi poured dirty water on her once, just for fun. Tommy called her names like village rat and slave girl. And when food was shared, Purity was always given the smallest portion, sometimes just bones. One evening, while washing clothes outside, Purity sat on the stone and stared into the distance. The sun was setting. Painting the sky with soft red and orange, it reminded her of tattoo, of home. A tear rolled down her cheek. If God is watching, she whispered, please help me. A letter never sent. One day, Purity found an old pencil and a torn exercise book in the trash. She hid them under her mat. That night, using the light from the kitchen bulb, she began to write. She didn't know who would read it, but she wrote it from her heart. Dear Mama and Papa, I miss you so much. Life here is very hard. Auntie Miracle doesn't love me. She beats me every day. I don't go to school. I clean and work from morning till night. I'm always tired. Sometimes I cry, but I wipe my tears fast because they say crying is for weak people. I wish you were here. I wish you didn't leave. I feel alone. Please come and carry me, even it is in a dream. Love, your daughter, Purity. She folded the paper and placed it under her pillow. Even though she had no bed, that letter never reached anyone. But writing it made her feel, just for one moment, like her parents were listening. Weeks passed, months, the harmattan came and went. One rainy night, Purity was sent outside to buy matches. She didn't have an umbrella, and the rain soaked her from head to toe. On her way back, she slipped in the mud and bruised her knee. She limped back home, shivering. When Miracle saw her wet and moody, she didn't ask her what happened. She didn't help her. Instead, she slapped Purity so hard that her ear rang. Stupid girl, she shouted. Now look at you, dirty like a pig. Purity sat outside that night, under the wooden shed, her clothes sticking to her skin. The rain poured, her lips trembled, her hands were cold, and still no one came for her. The rain did not stop that night. It poured from the sky like the heavens were crying with purity. She sat outside in her wet clothes, her tiny arms wrapped around her knees. Her body was shaking from the cold, and her stomach growled. She had not eaten all day. Auntie Miracle and her children were inside the house, laughing and eating warm food. No one called her in. No one cared. As Purity sat there, a man passed by on the street. He had a black umbrella and wore a fine white shirt. He looked like someone from a big office. His shoes were shining, and his face was clean like someone who lived in peace. His name was Lazarus. He just returned from a long day at work. He was a young businessman, only 28 years old, and he was known in the city of Jekama for his hard work and kindness. He owned a printing business and had many workers, but he stayed humble and kind. As he walked by Miracle's house, he saw a little girl sitting alone in cold rain. He stopped. Hey, little girl, he said gently. Purity looked up, afraid. Her eyes were red and her lips were trembling. What are you doing outside in this rain? He asked. Purity did not speak. She was too scared to say anything. She thought maybe he would shout at her, too. I'm sorry to ask, he continued, but do you have $2? I left my wallet at the office. I am very hungry. Purity shook her head slowly. I don't have, she whispered. I don't even have food. Lazarus looked at her closely. He saw her torn clothes. He saw the bruises on her arms. He saw the pain in her eyes. His heart broke. He sat beside her in the rain and took off his jacket, placing it on her shoulders. What's your name? He asked. Purity, she said softly. That's a beautiful name. He smiled. Where are your parents? They died, she said, eyes filling with tears. I live with my auntie, but she hates me. Lazarus looked at the small house. He could hear laughter and music inside, but the little girl outside was in pain. He knew something wasn't right. Purity, he said gently, do you want a better life? She nodded slowly, unsure what he meant. Come, he said, I want to help you. Lazarus spoke to Miracle the next day. At first, she was rude and harsh. She is nothing but a burden. Miracle shouted, "If you want her, take her." Lazarus took Purity to his home, a small but clean apartment with outside, flowers outside and one blanket inside. He gave her food, new clothes, and a soft bed. He made sure she went to school and got the love she had missed for years. Slowly, Purity began to smile again. She learned to read and write. She sang song again like her mother used to. She helped in the kitchen, but not like a slave, like a child with a home. Lazarus watched her grow. He respected her pain, but he also helped her find joy. Years passed, Purity turned 19, and she had become a beautiful, gentle young lady. Her heart was kind, and her smile was full of light. She always thanked God for saving her. And Lazarus, he had watched her grow with pride. One day, he looked at her and saw not just the little girl he had helped, but a woman he admired and truly cared for. So he did something bold. He asked her to be his wife. Purity was shocked. She cried tears of joy. "You saw me when no one else did," she whispered. "You gave me life when I thought I had none left." They got married in a quiet but beautiful ceremony. Purity wore a white dress and walked down the aisle with a flower in her hair, just like the ones her mother used to place there. People from the village of Tatu came. Even her old neighbors cried when they saw how happy she had become. They bitter regret. Auntie Miracle heard the news. She had not seen Purity in many years. Her own life was not going well. Her children had dropped out of school. The house was falling apart. And she had no job and no one wanted to help her. When she heard that Purity had married a rich businessman, she was shocked. She went to the wedding, standing far at the back, hoping no one would see her. But Purity saw her. She walked up to Miracle with grace and calmness. "Auntie," she said. Miracle looked down, ashamed. She couldn't meet Purity's eyes. "I am sorry," Miracle whispered. "I was wicked. I was blind. Please forgive me." Purity looked at her, tears forming in her eyes. "I forgive you," she said. "I am no longer that little girl you hurt, but I still choose peace." Miracle broke down in tears. No one had ever shown her that kind of love before. Purity and Lazarus built a big house together. They helped all children, gave scholarship, and fed widows. Purity told her story to girls in shelters, telling them to never give up hope. She always remembered where she came from, not with pain, but with gratitude, because through the fire, she had found her light. Lazarus loved her deeply. He said often, "God gave me a diamond in the rain." And Purity never forgot that cold night, the night everything changed. So, what do you learn about Purity and Miracle's story? Please drop it on the comment section.